it's much cooler in the summer and winter time, so grapes just seem to mature that little bit longer. And we know this area is going to really grow in a wine region in South Africa, and you know, and I like to let my money work for me. I like to take it out the bank and invest it, and I hope that we can do something great about it. It's a bit of a secret at the moment, I think.
Welcome, yeah. How are you? These vineyards, in these extreme climatic conditions, up high above sea level, fascinated Retief. We met one another a few times last year, and from there the relationship started. What we're trying to attain here is to cultivate. I've decided to cultivate the grapes in as natural conditions as possible. We have proteas, pincushions, honeybush, and all the natural plants growing in our vines. What we've noticed is that with the vines growing between the honeybush and the pines and the minty natural plants, we're actually picking up those wild flavors in the berries.
That's great. Beautiful.
We call it biodiverse farming. I've had our wines with winemakers in the Western Cape. They really emphasize the distinction we have, this unique flavors that our wine has generated.
Well, I'm glad I got somebody that knows what he's doing. The only thing I know what to do is how to drink it, I suppose.
Werner and Retief have decided to invest here, and our wines will be sold from the farm and exported from here at our warehouse, which is exciting. Now that the people have seen where it's from, I guess they'd love to come and visit.
Yeah, most important. Yeah, look at it, nice glass.
We were looking for an icon name for this icon wine. But how do you describe Retief? You know, he's a guy, everybody all over the world calls him Iceman and, you know, the chilled goose and whatever. And he doesn't have a lot of expression on the golf course, you know. So we thought, that's it, you know. This is the goose, this is his expression.
Expression?
Well, I like that. There's a nice joke there, isn't there?
This, I think, hints at, you know, you don't know me.
For a guy who was very reticent, yeah, that is very good.
I think he's got to be proud of that.
Here we go, mate.
The cynic could add in brackets L-E-S-S on the end, and that would be sort of a nickname for goose, you know, expressionless.
I think the goose is much an expressionless person, but the better you get to know him, the more intriguing he becomes and the more little nuances you find in the person himself, which you will discover in our wine. You happy with that goose?
Maybe that's his way of speaking.
Builds a little bit of mystique around Retief.
Someone has been quite clever in thinking that title up.
I know it is a good wine, and hopefully everybody will be impressed with it who drinks it.
Perhaps the overriding memory of that year's Open was not the various play that led up to it, but the state of the greens on the Sunday. They didn't really look green, and you knew that they were going to be hugely difficult to handle.
People were putting off greens into bunkers, and that course was impossible.
He's already had 2 or 3 from down there, which have failed to come back up.
Nobody was making any cuts that day. I mean, everybody knows the USGA lost those greens in general, not just the 7th green. There were others that were just impossible to stop the ball around the hole with.
Oh my goodness, he's never going to finish this hole.
And yet along comes this big, leaden-footed, steady, impassive South African who had a day when he seemed to have been touched. It was almost as if God had decided that everybody around him was going to have to fall away because Retief could do it.
Golf is all about feel. I mean, you can have a great golf swing. If you don't have any feel, you're not really going to play well. I love fast greens. The faster the greens, the better. I just love it when the ball just gets going.
You know, Retief, by playing an opponent like Phil Mickelson, who was playing as well as Phil was that year, that put him in the elite category.
fabulous, but beautiful putt.
Phil was playing really flawlessly and making a lot of 5 and 6 footers, which were really hard to make on those greens. And Retief kept topping him with 10 and 12 and 20 footers. That probably is the greatest putting display in the history of the US Open on the last day.
I'm not sure if it was 10 or 11 putts on the back nine. It's kind of mind-boggling, really. For somebody to roll these putts in when the championship is on the line, you wonder if this guy's human.
Mickelson has every one of these 40,000 spectators on his side. Well, I'm surprised that they welcome or not welcome the name of Retief Goosen.
I found when Retief was in contention against Mickelson, and they were so biased.
Obviously, there were some people trying to put him off, and everybody, being Americans, obviously were pulling for Phil to pull it off, you know.
You understand that, you know, they want their man to win, and I was there fighting him off. But in a way that made me a little bit more determined to win. You know, if he wants it, he needs to come and take it from me.
The skill, the courage, the heart and the belief.
They're willing it in, and it's gone in.
He's found another one.
It's a slugfest, it's fantastic.
One thing to hold putt after putt, but once you've made a pressure putt to save par, and then you're back in the weeds again on the next hole, it wears you out after a while. And it didn't wear him out.
That was a stunning golf shot. That really was wonderful.
17 was the turning point. I made my putt and he threw putted, and that's where the turning point comes down to the putting. I saw him hit a putt and miss and walk off, and I thought, well, maybe he made 4, but I didn't realize he made double. It's only after I've teed off that somebody said, oh, Phil made double. You know, I heard somebody say that, and it's only I realized there was 2 shots ahead.
Goosen, from being a shot back just over 2 minutes ago, is now a couple ahead.
Everybody's nervous on a golf course, but it's how you control your emotions and stay focused and try and block out what's really going on.
To imagine why Goosen looks so calm.
He's never wavered, and he never looks surprised.
That's one of his advantages, is that he's not going to let the moment get to him. He's going to always be thinking clearly, and you know, that's what true champions do.
Goosen, the chief of Shinnecock.
After 2001's 3-putt I had, I wanted so desperately to make that putt. I pretty much took the hat off and showed it, oh, I got you this time, you know. I was pretty proud about my achievement that day, in a way that not so much winning the US Open, but I hung in there and fought off the other sort of enemy. That was nice that time. The difference was, you know, Tracy wasn't at the first one, and the second one she was there with Leah, so it made it very special.
Well, I think he's done a great job of keeping his privacy, and I think him and Tracy have done a great job of finding ways that they can still try and lead a normal life off the golf course.
I'm a little bit more laid back, shy-ish, and she's more outgoing. But in a way we don't clash, you know. Yeah, Leo, he definitely loves the camera. He's not shy, and he's very outgoing, a lot like his mum. Ella, I think, is a bit like me. She doesn't like the cameras at all and likes to do her own thing. Is quite stubborn, so I think she's definitely got my character. Kids and family are number one, and I need to look after them, and that's my main priority. I would like to see the quiet man of golf disappear in a way. It would be nice to be seen a little bit different maybe by the media and so on, but it's hard for me to express out there, and I think I am getting better, and it's something I'm going to have to change myself.
Guys who are really successful are true to themselves, and that's something that Retief has really done. He's always been true to himself. He hasn't tried to change in any way to fit into anybody else's mold. He's realized the things that make him the great player that he is, and you know, that's something that's really worked for him.
You don't think of Retief Goosen having his head turned by success. And if your head's not turned by success, then you've got a chance of following some kind of pattern.
Well, you win 2 US Opens, to me you're a great player. You have to know what you can do. And obviously Retief knows what he can do and does it.
He's sort of got the game that's going to last a long time. He's a very smart player. You know, he's not a man of many words, never gets excited, but my goodness, he's a tough competitor.
He's very gifted. He can hit the ball high and soft. He's got a wonderful putting touch. He's got power. He's definitely got tools to win majors.
The world is at his feet, and who knows what he'll accomplish. But he certainly has the talent, the ability, and I hope the will to continue to win majors. He's my man.